Hey, what's up there, guys? Earthmaster here. November 12th, 2017, 3:46 p.m. here. Going to do a quick earthquake video update. Seismograph stations right now pretty quiet. Looks like still possibly some P waves traveling around the Earth from that very large 7.3 earthquake that struck earlier today, in the area of the Iran and Iraq border in the Middle East. Now this is going to be based on the information on the Iran side, even though the USGS is stating 32 kilometers south of Halabja, Iraq. I'm pretty sure I did not pronounce that correctly, but yeah, definitely on the Iran side. You can see the border area right here, but the earthquake south of this town that I just mentioned, or this region, pretty large earthquake. Quite a few deaths, unfortunately, being reported due to their infrastructure. And you know, 7.3 is a pretty big earthquake there, no doubt about it, in any region of the world. No matter where you put it, there's definitely going to be some fatalities and whatnot. Up in the orange level for the fatalities, and also the estimated economic losses there. So no doubt, not a good thing for that area. You can see the shake map right here, the intensity scale up there in the very strong region, and possibly severe in there as well, with a little bit of darker orangish color there near the epicenter. But yeah, pretty scary stuff there. I'm not for sure the exact number of fatalities, but it's definitely out there on the mainstream media news, and in an unfortunate event, but definitely a good-sized earthquake in there. Taking a look at the activity over the last couple days, you can take a look at some of the activity surrounding that region, and you know, it's basically just a pressure buildup over time, and that's how earthquakes, and that's how all this tectonic plate movement occurs. It's just a natural thing, you know, and us humans here on Earth need to definitely, no doubt, get used to it, and take steps to ensure safety, you know, and build you know, some proper stuff, proper buildings and housing that can withstand certain magnitude earthquakes there. Until we do that, we're definitely going to have casualties and fatalities in all parts of the world. But you can see the 7.3 there showing up rather nicely on the earthquake 3D globe. Also, a couple days ago, 6.3 in this region of the world down here. But there wasn't a whole lot of activity in the area of interest there where that 7.3 struck. There was 5.3 down here south of the region, and a couple 5s and 4s over there, well east of the region over there. But nothing, you know, no foreshockers, no sign that this earthquake was going to strike over there. Just, you know, something that happens naturally, and that's what it is. Pretty large globe there covering that 7.3. More recently, a 5.8 there hitting near Japan region. Just a little bit ago, I got that notification there on my phone. So keep a close eye on this region as well. Anytime we see any large-scale movement right there, it definitely can affect other plate zones in and around the area, also afar. As we know, all these plates are definitely connected in one way or the other that form this beautiful globe here, this Earth. So definitely keep an eye on everything out there. Chile still got their 4-pointers, lots of 4-pointers down there up and down the coast, and in the South America region as well. Just a lot of activity that's been ongoing for some time. I wouldn't doubt if we see some larger scale activity down there. Something's got to give when it comes to the multitudes of 4s that are going on. take this down a little bit ago here. Yeah, so basically within the last 24 hours or so, only large scale movement is at 7.3 over there in Iran. And some deep activity there off the globe near the Fiji Islands region. You can see that 4.8, pretty deep earthquake. Take a look and see exactly how deep it is. 523 kilometers below the surface of the Earth. Once again, that's a rather deep earthquake there. And this one occurring before that 7.3 earthquake in Iran. So, you know, not saying it's super related or nothing, but definitely we like to be on watch whenever we see deep movement out there, even though that's a ways away from that 7.3. But like I say, adjustments and pressure on one plate in the area can affect the other, no doubt about it. As far as California activity goes, here in Northern California, all is quiet, eerily quiet. If you notice, there's not a whole lot of blues, which would indicate last day earthquake, and not a whole lot of reds, which indicate last hour earthquakes. Just a whole bunch from the past week, some microquakes, but nothing big. Eerily strange, I must say. Tremor network detection system in the Pacific Northwest indicating some activity. As you can see here on the map, quite a bit of activity. 17 hours, 277 epicenters in Northern California there, where I was talking about last video, how we had that uptick, and it looks like it may be happening again, and also up around the Seattle and Tacoma region. Now this is not earthquakes, but more in a way of a slow slip movement between two plates, in this case the Cascadia subduction zone region, sliding under, you know, this area right here, the North American plate. You know, the activity being picked up is it takes a very sensitive type of equipment to pick up this low scale, low frequency type noise that these plates put off when they slide past each other very slowly. You know, kind of like a creeping fault system, but different in a way compared to normal earthquakes. So we got some activity on the north end of it, northern section of the Cascadia subduction zone up here, which extends a ways up here, but we never see this type of activity in the central region near, you know, like central Oregon. You know, it makes me believe that there's still, it's kind of like the pressure in general is building along this area right here in between there, and that's what scares me a little bit, because we don't see that large scale creeping event, the slow motion or slow movement underneath the plates, as we do down here to the south and the north. It's kind of like bending the land, adding pressure in the region of the Central Coast up there in Oregon. Now this was from the 11th. You can check out the real-time tremor detection system. Last 3 hours, right here, last 3 hours. A little bit of activity near the Portland region, but most of the activity, you can see it still confined down here to Northern California. And prior to that, we can go back 6 hours or so and see the activity up north. There's actually a little bit of more activity there in Portland region. This here shows you 48 hours. Once again, the absence of that type of activity in the Central Coast region of Oregon right here. This is kind of surprising me a little bit, to see this much activity near the Portland region. You know, just picture it on a large scale movement, or a plate underneath here moving slowly, but portions of it are not, and that's where we see the buildup, the increase in pressure applied up there. So anyway, guys, we will keep a watch on it as always. Looks like some of the stations here just went off the data system here. Interesting. All right. Anyway, guys, have a great Sunday night. Hopefully your weekend was pretty nice and uneventful, kind of like mine. And as always, have a earthquake plan. Make sure you got plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of medications. A lot of people forget about medications. You know, just simple stuff like first aid, antibiotics, and you know, bandages and other stuff. Always good to have. You never know when you might need it. You know, we take for granted that Walmart's always going to be open down there on down the street. You know, it's not a bad thing to be prepared.